So, the other day, Sean Medina messaged me on Facebook, and he was like, "Hey, I've got this page, the forthcoming triumphants, and I wanted to ask if I could interview you." And I was super down. I'd seen some postings on the page and stuff, and was spreading all this inspiration from all these local kids. I'm assuming I didn't know all of them, but I saw a friend on there, and so he was like, "Hey, if you want to do this interview, like send me a video or like message me back or whatever." I don't got a lot of time, so I wanted to do it in a video, so I could clearly portray everything. I'll answer the questions and stuff because I don't have a lot of time to write it out. I'm not on Facebook a lot, so But his question was like, "What is your dream?" And my dream is to positively impact everyone that I know and show them the same love that I've received in my life. And I do that through a bunch of different avenues. I've got Salt and Iron Productions and Gravity My Enemy and my books and my music and all these different crazy things that I'm doing. And I it's crazy how I got into this too, because it was the thing that inspired me. Was when I graduated high school, way back before Salt and Iron Productions was even a whisper of a myth of a dream in my head. Um, I worked at Walmart and I was a maintenance guy there, and like I was cleaning bathrooms and vomit and all the really nasty stuff that nobody wants to do. Well, that was my job, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it because I thought that I was owed something, that I deserved more, I guess is a good way to put it. And so I was cleaning bathrooms and stuff, and I like to slack off. And during my time slacking off, I became friends with the group of girls that worked at the Subway there. And so I would go there and eat every day for lunch because it was close, and it would give me more time to sleep in the break room, as I like to slack off. And this one day, well, first it had become like this gag that we had, that every time I went there to pay with a credit card or my debit card or whatever, their card machine was down, and it happened like 4 times in a row. And so it became this running joke with us that if I was going to pay with a card, if I didn't have cash on hand, that their card machine was going to be down, and I'd have to go to one of the registers, buy something, and then withdraw cash from them. And so this one day I went, and it wasn't a particularly bad day, but when you're not happy with life and you think everything sucks, there aren't really a lot of good days, because it's all introspective. Like, you have to look at yourself first. And so I was throwing a pity party. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. And I went up to the line at Subway, and there's this lady in front of me who ordered a sandwich, and she was going through, and her, me, and my friend Amanda were all like talking and making jokes and having fun. And Amanda made a joke about the credit card machine, and she was like, "Hey, I hope you don't have your card today, because like the card machine's broken again. You're not going to be able to eat." And I was like, "Oh, well, that sucks. Looks like I'm going to go hungry." And I was just playing around. And this lady had paid for a sandwich, and she took off, and I got up to the register, and Amanda was like, "Okay, so here's the deal. That lady bought your food, and you don't have to pay for it. So I hope you have a good lunch." And she just gave me my food, and I tried to pay. I tried to do something, because I was kind of in shock, because that was the first time anyone had done something for me just out of the kindness of their heart. I mean, like, family and stuff did, but this lady was a total stranger, and it blew me away, and it changed everything for me. And I didn't even eat lunch that day. I just went into the bathroom and locked myself in a stall and just started crying, because it got me right in my heart, in my soul, whatever you want to call it, whatever that part of you is that makes you feel things, and I was floored, absolutely floored, that this lady that I had no idea who was just like, "Oh, maybe this kid really doesn't have any money. Maybe he really needs to eat." And she just bought me my sandwich. I don't know what her thought process was, but there hasn't been a day that's gone by since then that I haven't thought about what she did for me, because it changed everything. And I literally mean everything. Because after that day, I basically turned my life around, and I started having a more positive outlook, and it was influenced by a lot of musicians and authors and public figures who were putting out this positive content this stuff that tried to tell people that life didn't have to suck. Like we're here for a reason, and we should love people. And so I got on board with this thing, and it spiraled out of control. And Gravity My Enemy kind of, and Salt and Iron Productions too have become these huge monsters for me to tackle. But it's so much fun because I get to talk to people, and I get to have these intimate conversations with people that I normally wouldn't, and I get to inspire them and bring them hope and stuff. And it's just, I feel like in some small way I'm paying that lady back for her gift to me, which was far more than just a sandwich. She gave me a whole new outlook on life, and I don't know if she knows that she did that. And my next step for Salt and Iron, for Gravity My Enemy, for Random Acts Clothing, like all of these little projects that I'm working on, in business terms, it's like, oh yeah, well, I need to advertise more and I need to like get out there. But really, my next step is whatever I do, whether it's a book or an album or poetry or clothing designs, like whatever the next thing that's coming out, and subsequent next things for the rest of my time being alive, I want to just continue spreading that message. And it's become so much less now about me getting big and famous and having 6 Bugattis and like all this stuff. It's down to a personal level now. Every person that I interact with, I want them to walk away from our interaction feeling happy and feeling loved and feeling inspired. And so that's just what I'm doing now. And if I have to advertise more, and I want to get my stuff out there, so that's a big part of what I'm doing. But the next thing that I'm gonna do, I just got to talk to people, and it's gonna be a big thing, and I've got a lot of plans. I have something like 60 books slated to be written right now, and I've been writing like a madman trying to keep up. But like I said earlier, I like to slack off, so we'll see. But I know that my end goal is that my time alive is going to be time well spent. And I really hope that there isn't a single person that I meet that doesn't feel like their life is better. Like I want everybody that I meet to feel like they have a better life, to feel like they're in a better place because they met me, because we had an interaction, because I hugged them or shook their hand or told them to have a good day. Like whatever little thing that I can do to help people, that's my next step. And advice that I have for anyone who wants to do something, wants to make music or books or clothing or be a professional sports player, guy, girl, whatever it is you want to do, your passion, your dream, my best advice for you is to surround yourself with people that love you and support you, and never, ever, ever give up, because it's going to get really hard, and sometimes it's really going to suck trying to get there. But if you can believe in yourself enough, and if you can have the dedication, you can do literally anything in the world. And the only reason I've come so far is because I have friends and family who are constantly supporting me. Even though, they know they don't get to hang out with me all the time, and I go days without seeing some of my friends and my parents and stuff. And that's a normal thing, as we grow up, that's just kind of something that happens. But it's because I spend so much time working, and I'm working on blog posts and books and music and all this stuff. But they still support me, and they still, when I see them, they're like, hey, I hope things are going good. And it's those little things. Life is about the little stuff. And so surround yourself with people that love you. That's the best thing that you can do, especially if you're a creative person, because we're pretty harsh on ourselves more often than not. And so do that first. Find those people that love you and support you, and after that, everything gets so much easier. You wouldn't believe it. And always, always, always remember that life is